Hello everyone, welcome back to Need for Speed Underground 2, and I decided that I will actually replace my Escalade with another SUV. Unfortunately, this is not Test Drive Unlimited where you can actually test the car you're about to purchase before you actually do it. So, I don't know which one handles better, the Lincoln or the Hummer. So let's see. Hummer H2 has basically no handling at all. The Lincoln has even less. The Escalade has the most, as far as the stats here go. That's you know what? Let's go with the Hummer. Trade this car. Yep. So I'm gonna try and get to that performance shop somehow. I don't think there's an exit down here. Oh, actually there is. This appears to be handling better. A little bit... obviously a little bit soft, but yeah. I can see this being slightly better. We have plenty of money to spend on better performance parts. You know what, let's go with this first. Everything here. Obviously what else I need is turbo. It's only 4,000? I thought it was like 7,000 or so. Level 2 nitros. Level 2 tires. Or do we have level 3? No, we don't. Brakes, yep, we need brakes. We need brakes desperately, and let's get level 1 weight reduction too. And then we go to the dyno. Wait, what? Did I read correctly here on as far as top speed goes? Okay, this car makes a lot of torque. Wow. That really is a lot of torque. Well, top speed 328 kilometers an hour. That is fast. That is really fast. Never probably gonna be like under 2000 RPM, so because this revs to 7, so therefore everything that comes after 2000 RPM should be like as strong as possible. I really want full boost like from here though, so if this isn't quite at the top, just like it is now, then I'm fine with that. Right. This is good actually. Or I could do this. Yeah, okay. This now has a wider torque band. And actually a little bit more power. Yeah, I think I like this better. Even though, what? Acceleration time is a lot slower? Doesn't feel that slow to me. Okay, yeah, we need to tweak the suspension a little bit more. Choose suspension. Lower it more. Stiffen up the rear springs. Yeah, more steering ratio, of course. And now do another test run. That is quick acceleration though. You know what I'm gonna do? Brakes. Brake bars more to the front. That should give us some nice brake oversteer, or at least make it so the back rotates along with us when we brake into a corner. Yeah, that time I didn't brake enough. Okay. Yeah, I can see this working. Return to the dyno. Mode select, change this setup and go for... Actually sprint should be the same. I don't think there's any drift race for SUVs. Street cross either. Drag could be... you know what, I'm gonna leave it like this for now. So now that we're basically out of money, let's look for an SUV race like that one. The one that we struggled with last time. Now if this doesn't work and I lose again, then I just wasted basically 40 grand. I actually did press right there, it just didn't turn really. That was a nice drift. Right. Gained first here as well, just like I did with the Escalade. Now it's about, can this thing? Okay, it still can't corner really well. But it goes well in a straight line. I don't know if it goes better than the Escalade. Whoa. Whoa, what was that? Let's see. How can they make it around that corner so tightly? Look at how low that was it the Lincoln is, or what was that, an Escalade? But that car was so low to the ground. No wonder he can turn better than me. But now I got him. I actually am faster in a straight line, it seems. Maybe I'm lacking some downforce for these quicker corners. That could be because because I don't have bumpers or spoilers, I don't have any downforce, which in turn will make me a little bit faster in a straight line. But it won't help around the corners. And also, under braking, of course, having more downforce is useful as well. So I'm gonna try and use that extra, aerodynamic finesse, if you could call it that, on a Hummer, in order to gain a big enough lead in a straight so that I don't lose the first position here. Come on, it is an Escalade. Use the shortcut. Don't get overtaken by the Escalade like at the last possible second. And we're gonna win this one first try in the Hummer. Oh my god. I did not expect this to go as well as it did. At the same time, I was, this being a success was basically the only option I had, because otherwise I was going to be left with a car that's worse than I had before and also no money. Okay, let's see. I think we have some more SUV races available. There's one over there, one over there. You know what, maybe I should try and do outruns now in the Hummer. Reason being, I'm only gonna find SUV AIs anyway, and I have, you know, no aerodynamic fixtures, which would get in my way as far as high-speed acceleration goes. So as long as I keep those outruns on the highway, I should be good. Also, there is a German tuning company called Geiger Cars. They tune American cars, and you know, they had a last generation Cadillac CTS-V, which normally makes how much, 560 horsepower, the previous generation, and they tuned that up to 680 horsepower. And then also they had a Hummer which had like 24-inch rims. No, actually no, it had 30-inch rims. 30-inch rims on the freaking Hummer, and then also a 7-liter supercharged V8. I mean, that's just... What? This is a drift race. This is a drift event. I thought there was not gonna be any such thing for SUVs here. You know what? It's gonna be fun. Actually, I'm gonna set this up for drifting before I really get into it, I think. Thank God I didn't hit the wall there. But also don't thank God, because I lost like all of my speed, and turning around and getting back up to, you know, a speed where you can reasonably drift takes forever. Like, a Hummer with a 7-liter supercharged V8 and 30-inch rims is just a pure poser's car at that point. But of course, if you can afford it, if you can afford to run it, because that thing is gonna use fuel like, you know. Let me put it this way: if you go to a gas station and leave the engine running while you're filling up, it'll never be full. That's how much fuel that thing is gonna use. And yeah, it's also not gonna be cheap to buy, I would assume. But hey, that's what everybody, or that's what, you know, lots of people would imagine a tuned Hummer to be, because it is already a huge vehicle. And if you want it to look better, and you know, see that nobody is gonna use this thing off-road anyway, well, might as well have 30-inch rims, right? And a stupid amount of torque. I can't remember the power figures of that thing, by the way, but it's gotta be somewhere in the 600 plus horsepower range. Now that I'm driving this Hummer more, actually I do think it handles a little bit better than the Escalade did. Good God. Let me jump into my garage and set this thing up for drifting now. No, not for drag, for drift, yes. So, what we want... Okay, what we want is very low here, very stiff rear suspension, a little bit softer on the front, lots of steering ratio, more acceleration, no downforce, no grip on the rear tires, brake bias all the way up front, ECU, let's just take this and this away, so that, you know, when you're drifting you want to be in high RPMs anyway, and once you get there, there should be like a real thrust. Good. Let's do a test run. Let's test drift this Hummer. Never thought I'd say that in my life. Oh, I initiated the drift too early there. Thinking that all that mass would carry this car more to the outside than it actually did. It'll actually go sideways quite well. And we're talking about the Hummer here. Yeah, there I stayed on the handbrake for a little bit too long. Okay, return to the dyno, save the setup, good, return to explore mode, and now we can start this drift event. If I could actually trigger it somehow. There we go. And even though the steering is at its fastest possible setting that it can be for this car, it is still so slow that you can't transition the car from like left to right and still keep the chain going. That's how long it actually takes to do like the little left to right in this car. Thank God it's only 2 laps here in this drift event, because on a long drift track like this, 3 laps would just be they would probably go until sometime next year, but luckily it's only 2 laps, so we're gonna be finished today. I know that math doesn't really work out that well, but how in the world am I so far ahead in points? Oh no, it did actually chain that time. Oh, yeah, that was gonna happen. We're almost finished though. I'm gonna spin once again before we are. And there it is. Wow, I had like 3 times as much score as second place. And the Escalade is apparently the worst drift SUV. So we learned a couple of things, which is that the Hummer is pretty good overall as an SUV, and I should have chosen it in the first place. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Leave a like or a comment if you did. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.